Ladies and gentlemen, gather around today. We're diving into that deliciously dark corner of the human experience, the part where disrespect meets regret. Regret. A fine, heavy drink, don't you think? See, some people think they can pour it out and walk away, untouched. They think they can throw their venom without consequence, speak to you as if you are nothing, as if their words and actions are just fleeting and meaningless, like smoke drifting off into a wind that will soon forget them. But what they don't understand is this: the universe isn't a forgiving place, and you're not as weak as they believe. That last word, that final glance, that sneer, those moments, they're seeds planted and they'll grow, my friends, into something far darker than they could ever imagine. This question mark. This is the point where their ignorance will catch up to them, where the lines between victim and victor start to blur, where the underestimation turns into their greatest mistake. They had no idea, did they, that this would be the last time they disrespected you, the last time they thought they could tear you down, break you into fragments and watch you crumble. They think they're clever, don't they? They think they know who you are, what you're capable of, but they don't. They have no idea who you've been all along, no idea what's been brewing inside of you. They didn't see the fire you've been building in silence, the quiet rage that's been waiting for the right moment to burst. They didn't see the shift in your posture, that subtle transformation where you stop begging for validation and start demanding it. They had no idea that their actions would be the final spark that ignites something far greater than they could ever imagine. People like that, they operate in the dark. They think their cruelty is invisible, that no one sees the way they pull at the strings of others, trying to make them dance to their will. But you see it. And even if you didn't see it before, you're seeing it now. This is the moment. This is the awakening. No, you won't forget the things they said. You won't forgive the way they made you feel like nothing. But you know what? You don't need to forget. You don't need to forgive. They say time heals all wounds, but there are some scars that only grow stronger with age. The kind of scars that remind you of the person you've become, the person you never thought you'd be. Because here's the truth they don't get to know. Disrespect, hatred, cruelty, they have a way of carving something into you. It carves and it builds. It hardens you. And they didn't see that. They didn't see what they were truly creating. They didn't see how their words were not just words, but a challenge that would turn you into something else, that would fuel you into a rage that you've barely understood, a focus that only now is coming into full clarity. They had no idea what they were doing when they thought they could break you. No idea that by throwing stones at you, they were sharpening your edges. No idea that by disrespecting you, they were actually inviting a storm into their lives that would leave them drowning in their own regret. They didn't know they were pushing you to the edge of something far greater than they could comprehend. They thought it was just another moment, just another way they could feel superior for a moment. But that moment, it was their downfall, their mistake. They didn't see it coming. Here's where the story changes. They think they can discard people like they're nothing. They think they can tear into you, break you down, leave you questioning yourself, wondering where you went wrong. But that's where they've miscalculated. They didn't realize the strength that comes from being underestimated. They didn't realize the hunger that grows from the disrespect they've shown you. You've been living in the shadows of their arrogance, and now you're stepping into the light. You're no longer afraid of their words. You're no longer afraid of their judgment. They thought you were weak, that they could intimidate you into silence, into submission. But what they didn't understand was that silence isn't weakness. It's power. It's restraint. It's the calm before the storm. And when you finally speak, when you finally make your move, It will be with the full weight of everything they've pushed you to become. You've been silent long enough, my friends, but now that silence is no longer passive. Now it's a force, it's a warning. And the worst part, they won't even know what hit them. You think they're going to apologize, don't you? You think they'll realize their mistake and come crawling back, begging for forgiveness. That's what they hope for. But they don't get that luxury, because you don't need their apology. You don't need their validation. You're no longer bound by their opinions or their cruelty. They thought they could break you. Instead, they've given you the very thing you needed to break them. They thought they had power over you, but in reality, they only gave you the tools to take back your own. Every word they spat at you, every cruel gesture, every condescending laugh, it's all fuel, it's all fire. And now you are the storm they should have feared. They won't see it coming because they think they're in control. They think they can walk away without consequence. They can't. They won't. They'll look around one day and they'll wonder how things got so quiet, how the tables turned so completely, and it will be too late. By the time they realize their mistake, it will be far too late. They'll be standing in the ruins of their own arrogance, regretting every moment they took your strength for weakness, every moment they underestimated you, every moment they thought you were too small, too soft to fight back. They'll remember the sneers, they'll remember the insults, they'll remember the way they thought you would just fade into nothing, but they will find nothing but their own emptiness. You will rise. You will rise from the ashes they thought they would leave you in, stronger, sharper, more dangerous than they could have ever imagined. The truth is, you were never meant to stay down. You were never meant to be the victim of their cruelty, of their disrespect. No, you were meant to outlive their petty games. You were meant to show them that disrespect has a price, and sometimes that price is paid in ways they could never foresee. You were meant to remind them that there's only so much a person can take before they realize that the power was always in their hands, waiting to be unleashed. And now, the time has come. The time for regret. The time for reckoning. The time for them to understand exactly what they've done. You see, the moment they crossed that line, they thought they were merely pushing you down. But what they didn't understand was that they were creating a force, a power that had been lying dormant. Every cruel word they spoke, every insult they tossed, was a link in the chain that held you bound. But they didn't know that chains can be broken, can be forged into weapons. And now, you're holding the weapon. You're holding the power. And it's a power that will never be taken lightly again. It's a power that won't be dismissed, won't be underestimated. So, let them be the ones to look back with regret. Let them be the ones who feel the weight of their actions crushing them, who wonder how they didn't see it coming. Let them stand there, watching you, and realize the mistake they made when they thought you were just another person they could walk over. Because you're not. You never were. You are the storm that's been gathering on the horizon, and now it's here. They can no longer escape the consequences of their actions. They can no longer play their games. This is your time now. It's your time to make them understand what they've done. And it will be relentless. It will be unforgiving. It will be irreversible. Now, they will learn that every action has a reaction. Every insult, every disrespect has a price. And you are the one who will collect. You are the one who will make them realize how wrong they were, how deeply they miscalculated their hold over you. And in the end, they will be nothing but a shadow of their former selves, with nothing left to hold on to but their regret. They will be haunted by the way they treated you, the way they belittled you, and the way they thought you would never rise from it. They will wonder where they went wrong, and it will all click. It will all come crashing down, and they will realize the truth too late. But you will be standing tall. You will have turned their disrespect into your power. You will have taken their cruelty and transformed it into your strength. They had no idea this would be the last time they disrespected you. They had no idea that by pushing you, they would create something that couldn't be broken, something that couldn't be controlled. Now the roles are reversed. Now it's their turn to face the consequences of their own arrogance. And you will watch as they crumble, piece by piece, in the face of the storm you've become. Now it's your time. Now it's your reckoning. The moment they disrespected you for the last time was the moment they sealed their fate. They underestimated you, they belittled you, and now they will pay the price. You are not the person they thought you were. You are not the one they could break. You are the one they created. And now they will learn that there are no consequences without cost. And you will rise stronger, sharper, and more dangerous than they ever thought possible.